Hi, I'm Steve, credit cards writer for Finder.com. Today we're going to take a look at the X1 card. The X1 is a new credit card on the market that calls itself the smartest credit card ever made. It has quite a few features that differentiate it from other cards on the market, including how it determines your credit limit. So let's take a look. Right off the bat, we can see the X1 card promises very few fees. That includes annual fee, late fees, and even foreign transaction fees. Should you need to perform a balance transfer on the X1 card, you'll find that it has a lower than average balance transfer fee. This can save you some money on larger balance transfers. On the APR front, the X1 card comes in at a 12.9% to 19.9% variable, which is pretty low and unusual for a rewards card. And speaking of those rewards, despite possessing few fees and no annual fee, the X1 card earns 2 points per dollar on purchases. Right out of the gate, this is comparable to other flat rate cards on the market, but you can actually bump your value up even more. You can earn your first rate increase by spending $15,000 in 12 months. Doing so will bump your earning rate up to 3 points per dollar for the rest of the year. You can earn your second rate increase by referring a friend to the X1 card. If they apply and qualify, you'll earn 30 days at the highest rate available on the X1 card, 4 points per dollar. This rewards rate is pretty substantial for a card with very few fees and no annual fee. Part of the trade-off here, though, is the sign-up bonus, or lack thereof. Unlike a lot of rewards cards in the market, this card doesn't allow you to earn any sort of windfall of points or cashback for meeting spending requirements within a certain amount of time. So let's break down what makes the X1 card a worthy pick and what might be holding it back. So one of the main selling points of the X1 card is how it determines your credit limit. Rather than looking at your credit history, X1 card will instead look at your current income and your potential future income to determine your credit limit. This makes the X1 card a great choice if you're confident in your current income or your potential future income, but you don't have a prior credit history. X1 also advertises that cardholders could see up to 5 times greater credit limits than on a traditional credit card. As we mentioned earlier, the X1 card holds very few fees, including no annual fee, no late fees, and no foreign transaction fees. This makes the card a very friendly choice for those who are new to credit. As mentioned before, the X1 card is a surprisingly heavy hitter when it comes to rewards, earning 2 points per dollar on all purchases. Of course, you can also bump that up even more by spending at least $15,000 in a year. And going along with the theme of not relying heavily on a credit score, the X1 card will only perform a soft pull in your credit history rather than a hard pull when you apply for the card. So there are still a few unanswered questions about the X1 card that we won't be able to answer until the card launches. For example, we know that your credit limit can increase as your income increases. However, what we don't know is what happens if your income decreases. Will your credit limit go down as well? That's just something we're going to have to wait and see. Another thing to watch out for with the X1 card is limited redemption options. So while the card can earn you a lot of points, you can only spend those points at certain retailers. Currently, X1 has about 16 retailers listed on its website. These include places like Apple, Airbnb, and Delta. Now, if you shop at these places, that's great. But if you don't, you're going to have quite a few dud points on your hands. Finally, the X1 card lacks a welcome offer, as well as an intro APR on purchases and balance transfers. This cuts into the utility of the card and, in some cases, the overall value. The Citi Double Cash card, for example, offers a strong intro APR on purchases on top of its cashback rate. It gives it a lot of long-lasting value past the intro APR period. As of this video, the X1 card is not yet launched. However, you can join the waitlist by going to x1creditcard.com and clicking Join the Waitlist. From there, put in your first name, last name, and email address, and then click Join the List. All in all, the X1 card is a promising option for the credit invisible out there. Those out there without a prior credit history, but who have strong financials otherwise. And even for those who do have a strong credit history, the X1 card could be appealing thanks to its strong rewards rate and potentially higher credit limits. With that said, we still have a few questions about the X1 card we'd like to have answered before we can make our final verdict. You can check out our full review of the X1 credit card on Finder.com when it launches this winter. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button below so you'll be the first to know when our next Finder video drops.